Hey guys, happy Food Friday. It's been a couple Fridays now since I went and did a Food Friday. This is the reason for that. So we had the baby boy and he takes up a lot of time. So I am eventually going to get to the point where he can help me in the kitchen. Today he's just going to be a supervisor off in the distance. So I'm going to put him at a safe distance. Putting him down. And then on this Food Friday, what we're going to do is cherry tomatoes out of the garden. So these aren't actually cherry tomatoes from this year. This was last year's cherry tomatoes. They were washed, dried, put in the freezer, frozen. The next batch of cherry tomatoes is getting ready to be harvested, and it's going to be crazy. So I wanted to kind of use those. But if you're using fresh cherry tomatoes, same recipe. So we have our cherry tomatoes. What we are going to do with that is it's a real basic recipe. Where is my olive oil? So cherry tomatoes lying in the bottom of a cake pan like this. I drizzle on a whole bunch of olive oil, so that should be good. I'll just leave that here. Crack on some pepper. So these cherry tomatoes, if you're not using your own, make sure that you go organic with tomatoes. High on the pesticide scale. So these are my homegrown stuff, very organic. And then I'm going to crack on some salt. So good high quality pink Himalayan sea salt. Again, not highly processed, not highly bleached. Some organic garlic. I just minced it up ahead of time. I think I did 4 cloves of it. You know, I don't measure much. It's kind of just, it is what it is. It looks good on there. Spread it around. And then at this point, I kind of just mix it up a little bit. So that will just get the garlic kind of moving around it a little bit evenly. It gets the olive oil and the salt and pepper around the tomatoes evenly. I can replace the tomatoes that may have gotten little kitty wampus. And then feta cheese. So an organic feta cheese. So when we're feeding our animals good fuel, they produce good fuel for us. Again, I don't measure much. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it all around, and then you can determine for your household what's good. Feta cheese is also good, like low lactose cheese. So if dairy upsets your stomach, maybe try some feta and see if you still get that same. That's a lot, but you know what? That's good. So that's kind of the base of that main dish. I'll put it in a 400-degree oven till the cheese is browned on top. Maybe 20-30 minutes. Bonsai chickpea noodles. I'm going to wipe my hands off here. It's a clean towel. I guess that's not clean anymore. But Banza chickpea noodles. What I like about these is they're going to give you more nutritional value than your average pasta, your average white pasta that really doesn't have a whole lot of nutritional value. It's just a bunch of processed wheat. This is going to give us 23 grams of protein, 8 grams of fiber, for a 48 net carb effect. Okay, so that's the whole box. Now you're not going to eat the whole box. The one thing is you still see that there is plenty of carbohydrates in there. So you are going to want to measure it a little bit. This box has 4 servings in it? Yeah. So if you're feeding yourself, that's 4 meals. If you got a family of 4, that's good 4 servings of some good chickpea pastas. Now, if you're a vegetarian, that meal is complete. You got some protein in your chickpea pasta. You got your protein in your cheese. You got your carbohydrates from your tomatoes, your vegetables from your tomatoes, your carbohydrates from your chickpeas, and your fat from your cheese and your olive oil. So if you are a vegetarian, that's still a complete meal. However, we're going to take it a step further. We're going to grill up some chicken and use this almost as a side dish. Chicken as our main protein, our main meal, side dish. Or you can mix it in a little bit, make it kind of a chicken tomato feta cheese type of meal. And we are also, this is the season for getting the time of the year for broccoli to be harvested out of the garden. So this is broccoli straight out of our garden. All I did was drizzle over some olive oil, salt and pepper, and I'm going to put that in the same oven as my other tomato feta cheese mix. And we're going to get some roasted broccoli as well. Summer squash is big right now. Zucchini is big right now, so it could be done with either of those. Maybe you're grilling your summer squash and your zucchini with your chicken. So it can be done a lot of different ways, but again, we're just adding some good, organic, made from the garden. Well, they're all made from the garden, but made from my garden vegetables. The one thing with the chicken, so we had mentioned, if you haven't been following in the past, the chicken that you're eating, the beef, the fish, whatever, it's humanely raised. It's responsibly raised. Your fruits and vegetables should be responsibly grown, responsibly raised. So that means the animals aren't in a feedlot with thousands and thousands of animals. They're allowed to roam. They're allowed to eat feed and food that is more natural, not genetically modified, not force-fed. Because when your animals are eating that stuff, then we are eating that stuff, and that's highly inflammatory. So good organic chicken breast, good organic broccoli, tomatoes on that Dirty Dozen. You want to make sure that that's organic, your feta cheese is organic, and then these chickpea noodles just gives us a higher nutritional content than just your white pasta, and it tastes the same. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to put this in the oven, put it on the grill. We'll be right back and show you how it all gets put together. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so finishing touches today on our meal. As you can see, we had to do a wardrobe change up here and a bottle feeding, but I think we're good. We're going to power through this. So normally I would measure these out a little bit. You have 4 servings of your noodles in here, which is about 1/3 of a cup-ish, maybe a 1/2 cup. That's probably a little bit more like it. As far as the tomatoes and feta cheese, that took about 30 minutes. You just kind of want the cheese browned at the top. And we're going to scoop that out. That's going to be right on top here. Okay, and then our broccoli. Well, I'm just going to go with hands because I only have one free hand. So our broccoli was roasted broccoli, fresh out of the garden. We're going to fill up a good portion of our plate with that. And then our grilled chicken tenderloin. I'm going to go with 2.5 of those. So plated up. One thing I did forget was in here, normally I would add some fresh oregano, fresh basil from the garden. Our fresh herbs did not do well in the garden this year. So probably could have just pulled some organic stuff out of the cupboard. Didn't think of it, forgot all about it, but here it is dished up. So great summertime, fall, when the cherry tomatoes are going like crazy. A great use of all of those fresh ingredients to make a perfect meal. Have a great Friday and enjoy. Have a good one, guys.